fun. You ready to bring up Jeevin? This guy's an absolute killer. He's really going places. Please, a big round of applause for the hilarious Jeevin Gill.
Thank you so much for being here. I am so excited that you're here. And if you haven't seen me before, I am 6'7". Let me just get it out of the way now. I am 6'7". Yeah, you need to adjust your neck a little bit. It's okay. I get asked about it every single day. Every single day I get two questions. How tall are you, and do you play in the NBA? Every day somebody walks up, hey man, do you play in the NBA? Which is kind of annoying, right? Imagine that. Imagine every single day somebody walked up to you and was like, hey, did your childhood dream come true? No? Okay. I don't get to do that. I get to ask people about their childhood dreams. Just like, hey, did you ever become an astronaut? Did you ever become a princess? Did your parents ever get back together? It is easier being 6'7" in Canada. It's harder being 6'7" in other countries. Like I was in Colombia recently, and when I was down there, I went horseback riding, and I didn't realize that the horses we have in North America are so much larger than the horses they have in South America. Because I went to the horseback riding place, and they bring out this horse, and I'm looking at this horse like, dude, this horse is tiny. And the horse is looking at me like, dude, what the fuck is this thing? I gotta carry that? He started complaining to his boss. He's like, Luis, bro, it's Friday, I can't, my back. I've never seen a horse stretch before. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like he saw me, he was like, God damn it. He was sitting there afterwards smoking a cigarette with his friends, just like, dude, I can't with this fucking job, man. No, I gotta go back to school, this is fucking bullshit. No, Luis owes me 2 overtimes, okay? And he put this guy now, look at the fucking size of him, man. Walking around with a man bun, what an asshole. No, I hate tourists. I hate tourists. Walking around, hola, ¿cómo estás? Shut the fuck up. Duolingo-ass bitch, fuck you. Actually, I bought a picture with me. Look at this. That's me on the fucking horse. Look how fucking dead that horse looks. I look like I'm riding a bike without training wheels, just like. The whole time the horse was looking back at me like, dude, you should be carrying me. What the fuck is going on? Did that one not work? Over there, shit, my bad. It's a taping, I get to use the TVs, it's cool. I do love to travel though. I recently was in Singapore, and Singapore's a weird place. I don't know if you guys know what the punishment for marijuana use in Singapore is. It's death, yeah. Yeah, they hang you. Isn't that wild? Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy that the Singapore government hangs you for something the Canadian government said was essential during a pandemic? Is that crazy? I was talking to people there, they're like, our government hangs us for marijuana use. I was like, our government delivered it to our house. And then a bunch of us drove trucks to the Capitol and complained about freedom, so. Right, so I was talking to people there and I was like, so you guys don't smoke marijuana at all, do you? And they're like, no, we still do. I was like, seriously? You guys are risking death for weed? It's not that good. I was like, dude, I have 3 weed stores on my street. If it's raining, I don't go. Like, you guys are risking a hanging? It's wild when you come back from a country like that and you look at stuff differently. Like I went to the weed store after coming back from Singapore, and I was looking at stuff really closely because I was like, this is crazy that we can do this. And I noticed something. Do you guys know that there's nutritional facts on the edibles at the weed store? Who is that for? Who's walking into the weed store like, ooh, 30 grams THC, ooh, 5 grams of fat? No, I can't. watching my figure. I'm happy to be back in Toronto, though. I'm not originally from here. I'm from Vancouver, but I've been living here for a little while. You guys have a weird city, man. Like when I first moved here, I had to go to your children's hospital for work. We have a children's hospital back home. It's called the Vancouver Children's Hospital, which I used to think was a pretty straightforward name. Then I saw yours. What do you guys call your children's hospital? Sick Kids. What kind of a fucked up name? It's Sick Kids for a children's hospital. It's like they were making it. Somebody was like, hey man, what are we putting in this building? Mostly sick kids, I think. Perfect, put on the side of the building, let's go home. Right next to the old fuck senior care center and the junkie rehab clinic just all down the street. Man, lots of drugs in Vancouver, as you might know. You can really tell the difference of the drug cultures in the two cities by the homeless populations, because the drug of choice in Vancouver is heroin, and you can tell in our homeless because all they do is sleep. And it's just like these deep heroin sleeps. I don't know if you've ever seen. They look kind of comfortable, actually. Like I used to work late nights at a restaurant, and I would leave, and I'd be like, I'm so tired. I need to get home and get into bed. And so there'd be a guy on some newspaper. I'm like, fuck, I'm never gonna be this comfortable. And the drug of choice in Toronto is clearly crack, because your homeless are active, man. They're out there. They got stories. A lot of running around. I've never seen change asked for so aggressively before. They asked for change, but in an I'm mugging you voice. Like, I was walking down the street, I'm going, do you have any change? I was like, yo, dude, chill, yeah. I got you, bro. He asked me for change, so I gave him a quarter. And he goes, do you have a loonie? And I was like, I didn't think this was a negotiation. I thought it was a pay what you can kind of thing. I lived in Toronto for the entire pandemic, and I knew we were in trouble right away with the pandemic, because in the beginning they told us, they were like, hey, if you wear a mask, it really helps slow the spread. And a bunch of people were like, nope, can't do it. You're asking for too much. But really, you can't wear a mask? That's your big complaint in life? Like, I had a legitimate reason not to wear a mask. When I wear a mask, I get dents in my beard. It's a legitimate reason. Because it shows off my secret, that I have a tiny chin. Watch. I think it was easy to walk around the grocery store looking like that? It wasn't. But I still did it. Man, I take the subway a lot in Toronto. We have a subway in Vancouver. It does this really weird thing. It works. You guys decide, no, fuck that. We like the place between the stations. That's where the cool stuff's at. You guys have a lot of crazy people on the subway, though. Here, I'll give you that. A lot of crazy people on the Toronto subway. I was sitting on the subway recently, and I had my headphones in. I was listening to music, and I heard some yelling, and I did what you're supposed to do, which is I didn't look, and I turned off the music in my headphones, and I just watched without watching. You know that thing we all do. And I saw him turn around, so I looked over, and it was a Jesus guy. It's the guy in the middle of the subway with a Bible yelling about Jesus. He's in the middle of the subway yelling about Jesus, hitting the Bible too. He was just like, Jesus is the light. Jesus is your savior. Jesus will guide you to the kingdom of heaven. He was a literal Bible thumper. I've never seen that before. Thought that was new. But here's the thing, classic Toronto Transit, it got stuck. And it was stuck for so long that I saw him kind of like slow down. Like look in the distance. And here's the thing, I'm a comedian, I've been a comedian for years. I know what that look is. I was like, oh, you ran out of material, motherfucker. And he did, he was like, Jesus is the light. I was like, no. You already did Jesus is the light, let's go. New stuff. My favorite thing about the crazy guy on the subway is that he always remembers his stop. Is that wild? Like, I'll be listening to a podcast sometimes and I'll miss my stop. This guy's delivering the message of the Lord. And in the middle of it, he's like, Jesus is the light. Jesus is your savior. Oh, Sherburne Street, that's me. All right, gotta go. So like I said, I grew up in Vancouver. I grew up in a very conservative Indian family, and so I didn't learn anything about girls or drinking or partying, none of that stuff. And then I turned 18, I moved away for university, started living in dorm rooms. When I was living there, I went to this dorm party, and I met this girl. And the next day, she texted me. She was like, hey, do you want to come over tonight and watch a movie? And I was like, sure. So I went over to her dorm room, I took off my jacket. She only had a bed and a laptop, so we got into her bed. She put on a laptop. I watched a movie, finished the movie. I got up, I put on my jacket, I went home. The next day, she texted me, and she was like, hey, that was fun last night. Do you want to come over tonight again and watch another movie? I was looking at my phone like, man, this girl's really into movies. But sure, why not? So I go back to her dorm room, took off my jacket, got back into her bed, put on a laptop. I watched another movie. I finished another movie. I got up to leave again. Now it's like 1 a.m, and she's looking at me like, what is happening right now? She goes, hey, do you want to watch another movie right now? And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing anything tomorrow, why not? So I sit back down, and halfway through this movie, she kind of starts like elbowing me and leaning in over closer and elbowing me and leaning in closer. And I start like elbowing her back. So, what are you doing? I'm trying to watch the movie. And she keeps leaning in closer and keeps leaning in closer and elbowing me, and then she leans her face over my face and starts kissing me. And I was like, oh, I get it. And that's the story of how I lost my virginity. You guys don't understand, this is before Netflix. She only had 3 movies. Halfway through the third one, she's like, I gotta do something. This is my move. I put on a movie and I wait. I've never had to do anything else before. The 3 movies were in order: Titanic, The Notebook, and the one that did it, Zoolander. I lost my virginity. Will Ferrell's in the back going, Hansel is so hot right now. Man, I'll tell you this about losing my virginity. It did not go that well. I'll tell you what happened. I missed the hole. Dude, I didn't know how low you had to get. Like, no one taught me that you have to go like down and under. You know what I mean? Like, I went balls deep belly button. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I want to say I've gotten better, but not really. I'll be honest. I have had more adventures. I've been more adventurous. I had a threesome. 2 guys, 1 girl. Which now I prefer, I think. There was a time when I was younger and I was like, 2 girls, that'd be sick. But I'm 32 now, and I just like the idea of having a buddy to help out. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to be having sex, and in case I get tired, I can look back and he's waiting like a WWE tag team partner, you know, just. And if I do get tired, I can make that walk they do, get the tag, you know what I'm talking about? Like with... And he can jump through the ropes like John Cena, just like... Just, you can't see me on the pussy, just like... That was a really deep WWE reference for like 3 people over there. Here's how true that joke is. I got tired just doing that. I'm just... By the way, I want to make clear that was a joke. I do still want a 2 girls threesome. I want to make sure that's out there. I keep asking my girlfriend, it's not happening, but I keep hope alive, you know? I keep asking, she says no, and I've been like, all right, well, I've had a threesome with 2 guys. Are you interested in another guy? And if you want me to bring another guy in, I can bring another guy in. She was like, what am I gonna do with another guy? Like, where's he gonna go? My mouth? That's more work for me. So I was like, oh, I didn't think about that. So I invented a new kind of threesome, which is we invite another guy over, I have sex with my girlfriend, and he like does the dishes and cleans up and asks her about her work and stuff, you know? Man. I was talking, I am 6'7". I had this weird thing happen to me this week. I realized I'm taller than I am brown. Does that make sense to anybody? Some guy walked up to me recently and just goes, hey man, are you Dutch? Like, what? He goes, are you Dutch? I went, no, I'm Indian. He goes, oh, you're really tall. I thought you were Dutch. I was like, I'm also brown. He goes, yeah, but you're not that brown and you're really tall. So I figured you must be Dutch. It's like, okay. I'm like, I guess I'm taller than I am brown. Which is kind of true. You know how brown people always complain about getting harassed at airport security? I'll be honest, that never happens to me. Every time I go to the airport, they're just like, dude, how tall are you? Yeah, just go ahead, man, it's fine. Just they're like, he's not gonna blow up the plane. He barely fits on it. It's fine. They're like, he's too tall to be angry. Like, he's gotta have a way easier life than most. That's the thing. Lots of talk these days about white privilege. Not enough talk about height privilege. I feel like probably easily the same. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing. I have short friends. Some of my best friends are short. My short friends tell me about their problems, and I listen, because I'm a good tall, you know? And I listen, and I go, man, that's messed up. That's messed up that the world treats you differently because of your height. But I'm not gonna, do anything about it. System's working pretty good for me, so let's keep it the way it is. Like, even if anybody tried to do a change, like, remember last year, all the girls said they were gonna start dating short guys? Do you remember that? Yeah, short king summer, you remember that? They're like, short guys haven't had it too bad for too long. We're all dating short guys. It's hashtag short king summer. That's what they called it online. Hashtag short king summer. I was online like, whoa. Hashtag all heights matter, okay? Let's not get carried away here. I am Indian. Lots of Indians in Canada these days. And white people are not happy about it. A lot of hate for us online. I don't know if you know. I do, because I see all of it. Because hate's in the future now. It's on the algorithm. So whatever ethnicity you are, the algorithm finds out and sends you the hate that's for you. It's like Amazon. It's just like, people who are affected by this hate were also affected by this hate, and this hate's like... The most common hate I see online for Indian people in Canada is people saying that they don't recognize Canada anymore. They're just online like, I don't even recognize Canada anymore. I don't even recognize Canada. It looks like India. It doesn't even look like Canada anymore. It looks like India. I don't even recognize Canada anymore. Which is hilarious, because when Europeans got here, they got off their boats, they looked around and they were like, hey, Indians. So arguably, Canada's looked more like Canada than it has in 400 years. Yeah, maybe that's what we're doing here, all right? Maybe we heard you stole it from some Indians, so we're stealing it back for them, all right? We're gonna give it back to them, and they can do land acknowledgements for white people. It's gonna be great. There'll be a meeting, and somebody will get up, and they'll be like, we just want to acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of the Oyabats and the unceded territory of the just giving her voice. Man, that's my funnest joke. Oh man. I started therapy recently. Yeah. I started therapy recently. Any therapy people in the audience? Who's clap your hands if you're... Yeah, all right. Couple of you. Rest of you are perfect. Okay, cool. Good for you. I started therapy recently, and I found out that I have anxiety. It happened fairly quickly. My therapist told me I have anxiety. She called it my mental health issue. She goes, you have anxiety. That's your mental health issue. There's anxiety. That's your mental health issue. And I was like, okay, maybe. But I kind of feel like if you live in the world we do and you don't have anxiety or depression, like, clearly that's an issue, is it not? What are you, walking around fine? Pandemic, war, social media. It's like, no, it's going great. I feel like if you live in the world we do and you don't have anxiety or depression, you should see a therapist because clearly something is wrong. Pandemic, war, social media, and bills. It's fucking amazing. You have to, every month I get like, hey, you're seeing a lot of shitty things on social media. You have to pay $80 so you can keep seeing them. Man, I also found out I have ADHD, which that one I did know about. Because ADHD is the only disease where all of your friends tell you have it well before any doctor does. That's actually the test. You just walk into a doctor's office and they just go, hey, are all your friends annoyed by you? Yeah, you have ADHD. Here's how I knew I had ADHD. Somebody gave me the number for a specialist who deals with ADHD, and it took me 2.5 years to make the appointment. I did learn in therapy that going to therapy is a lot like going to the mechanic with one big difference. It's like going to the mechanic, they put your car up, and they get under it. They're like, come here, let me show you something. See, your problem is you got a crack in your axle. It's because your father was distant. And your right wheel is loose. That's because your mother is overbearing. And you getting bullied in high school is a carburetor issue. That's why that keeps overheating. And you're just under there with them. You're like, oh, interesting. Okay. Can you fix it? Oh, no, we don't fix things here. We just kind of point the problems out for you. I probably shouldn't be driving like this, right? Oh, you definitely shouldn't be driving like this. You're heading for a terrible accident. Well, what do? Well, what we're gonna do is teach you how to drive the car that you have with the problems that it has. That sounds like it's gonna be hard. Oh yeah, it's not gonna be easy. Basically, you need to drive the car completely differently than you have your entire life. How do I do that? We're out of time, actually, so why don't you just come back in a few weeks. Then after a few months, they're just like, listen, this is a manufacturing issue. The people who made this car had no idea what they were doing. They probably shouldn't have started with a car. They should have started with like a bicycle. Actually, those people should probably see a mechanic. And you're like, yeah, they should. Will they? They will not. They actually don't believe in mechanics. They kind of feel like if you pray to the Chevrolet gods, It'll all work out. I've been trying medication for my mental health issues, and that hasn't done anything at all. That's the funniest thing about these anti-vaxxers. You know these vaccine conspiracy theorists who are like online and they're like, bro, they're putting a mind control drug in you, bro. They're putting a mind control drug in you. That's what they're doing. That's what the jab is. It's a mind control drug. That's what they're putting in you. It's a mind control drug. I want to be like, dude, I have anxiety and ADHD. I've tried 4 different drugs to control my mind. They haven't done anything. If there's one that works, put it in. Turn this off, okay? Man, anyways, I quit therapy. I started it recently, I quit it more recently. Because here's what happened. I'll tell you what happened. I realized that I'm right. I was in therapy and my therapist was like, tell me about your, like, where is this anxiety coming from? What makes you anxious? And I was like, the planet is dying, no one cares. My taxes fund a genocide, and people keep dating Pete Davidson. Like, I'm not the one that's the problem. Yeah, this guy's on top of it. Oh man, I think therapy is good though. You should go. I learned a lot in therapy. I think I learned too much, if I'm being honest with you. Like, cause I'm 32 now. I'm at that age where all my friends are having kids, and a lot of my friends have kids, and they want me to have kids with them. And it's like they're like, you should have kids too, and that's weird, right? Having a friend who has a kid and wants you to have a kid, it's like having a friend with a job he hates. And he complains about it every day. And then one day he's like, hey man, they're hiring at my job. What the fuck would I want to work there? I think, I know too much about like what happens during childhood to have a kid now, I think. Because my friends will say this to me, they'll be like, hey, you should have a kid. I think you'd make a really good dad. I think you'd make a really good dad. And I was like, that's true. I think I would make a good dad. But the thing is, I would want my kids to be excellent. And I know, if I know anything, good parenting leads to mediocre children. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you look throughout history and anybody who's achieved excellency, they had shitty parenting. In any field. Dude, Barack Obama, Michael Jackson, Jesus Christ, like all of them. Fucked up parenting. Dude, Steve Jobs' parents abandoned him at birth. Like, do you want middle management or do you want the iPhone? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you think LeBron James would be in the NBA if his father was around? Nope. That's where it comes from, man. He's just dribbling down the court like, where's my dad? Why isn't it here? Dude, LeBron has a kid, okay? And his kid like plays in college or something. I was watching this video where his kid took the last shot to win the game and he missed. And he was really sad about it. He was sitting on the bench and LeBron comes over. He's like, hey, buddy, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, man. You played a great game, you passed to your teammates, and sometimes the last shot doesn't go in. It's gonna be all right. And I watched that, I was like, man, LeBron's a great dad. And that kid's never making it to the NBA. That kid's not gonna have what it takes, dude. It's like going to the gym while you're in a happy, healthy relationship. You ever done that? You ever gone to the gym in a happy relationship and been like, is this really 40 pounds? What the fuck? No, dude, you need that fucking heartbreak, you know? Like, dude, I'm in a happy relationship. This is fucking soft under here. There's nothing, man. I almost wore Spanx for this fucking recording, okay? Man, so I'm in a relationship. I'm in a relationship, and It's great. I have a lot of single friends though, and this happens a lot. Does this ever happen to you? You're just hanging out with a single friend, and they pull out Tinder and start swiping for people in front of you. Like, are you looking for somebody to bang during dinner? Like, what the fuck? That's rude, you know? And like, here's the thing, I've been in a relationship for a while, so I've watched dating apps sort of develop over the years, and there's this new technology that's emerged over the last few years. They're new technology, but they're also kind of full circle. Because I'm Indian, and my parents had an arranged marriage. And they had an arranged marriage in the 80s in India, which is the original Tinder. Because back then, photography had just gotten to the villages, and what they used to do was take a picture of whoever was single in a village and send it to the other parents, and then you could see who was available. So basically, my grandfather walked up to my dad with a pile of photographs of all the local women, and my dad just swiped through them. And he got to my mom and he swiped right. Except he didn't have casual sex with her, he married her. Imagine that's how it still worked. Think about the last person you swiped right on Tinder. That's your new husband the next day. The guy in the canoe holding the fish. Like, or the guy you thought was the cute guy in the middle of the group photo, turns out he's the ugly guy on the left. Or the guy you didn't even think he was cute, he just had a cute dog. You swipe right, get married, find out the dog's not even his. I think that's one of the problems. Like, here's the thing, like, it is a new technology, dating apps. It's like this new technology that's emerged over the years. You need new skills in dating that you never needed before. Like, you need to be a good texter. That's a skill in dating now. Like, I'll talk to my friends, I'll be like, hey, are you going out with that guy from Tinder? And she'll be like, oh, you know, he uses too many emojis. You can't trust a guy who uses too many emojis. Which, ladies, just so you're aware, we do that for you, okay? I've never been talking to one of my buddies and been like, hey man, you wanna go to the bar? It's never happened before. I think one of the problems in dating apps is that it's a text conversation right away. You match with somebody, and the first form of communication you have is a text conversation. And that's not a genuine form of communication, right? Because everyone texts the same on a dating app. You get a notification that has the text in the notification, so you read the text in the notification without actually opening the text, so they don't know you've read it. And then you like maybe take a screenshot, you think about your answer for a while, you open up a notes app, do a draft in there, and you wait the allotted time before it doesn't look like you're too desperate to respond, and then you respond. And I know there's people in here who just like get a text and then open it right away and then respond. And I just want to say on the behalf of the rest of us, what is wrong with you? How do you live like that? And here's the thing, I think that's not a genuine form of communication, because I've heard this story too many times, where I've been to a friend like, hey, how'd that date go from Tinder? And she's like, well, he was really funny over text, but he was kind of boring in person. It's like, no, he was boring the whole time. All right, you just met the real dude for the first time. You've been talking to ChatGPT for a month. I think dating apps should get rid of texting altogether. I think it should be an instant video call right when you match. Because that's how it used to be, man. Before dating apps, you used to walk into like a coffee shop and you would see somebody, you'd smile at them and they'd smile back at you, and you had to say something right there that was genuine and interesting or charming. Or they walked out of the coffee shop and out of your life, you married somebody else and you thought about that person for the rest of your life. And I think it would make for more cute meeting stories, you know? Like when you talk to people these days, it's like, how'd you guys meet? Tinder. Boring. How'd you guys meet? Well, I was in the grocery store, instant video call. I picked up and she was like, are you in the pasta aisle? I was like, I am in the pasta aisle. Oh, I have a great recipe for pasta. Oh, we should try it out sometime. Cute, you know? How'd you guys meet? Hinge. Boring. How'd you guys meet? Well, I was taking a shit and instant video call and she was cute, so I had to pick up. And she looked at me, she goes, are you taking a shit right now? And I go, Yeah, and it's kind of hurting too, actually. It's like, oh, I'm actually a hemorrhoid doctor. Oh, let me take a look. You end up with who you're supposed to end up with, you know? Or it's like, oh, how'd you guys meet? Bumble. Boring. How'd you guys meet? Well, I was having dinner with my wife, and... No. I think the other problem with dating apps is it's just too much choice. Like, there's way too much. You're not supposed to be talking to that many people who are attracted to you at one point. You know what I mean? Like, I talk to all my female friends, and their dating apps are just hundreds of matches. And I talk to my male friends, and their dating apps are just like tens of matches, and which is still too many. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you're talking to too many people. So it's just, my friends will complain to me. They're like, oh, you're so lucky in a relationship. It's so hard being single in 2024. It's so hard being single in 2024. I'm like, it's not hard being single in 2024. It's fucking amazing being single in 2024. It's hard getting into a relationship in 2024. That's the difference. Because you always needed 3 things to get into a relationship. You needed to be attracted to each other, you needed chemistry, and you needed a little bit of desperation. Like, you need to have been single for so long that you're like, please talk to me, somebody, I'm so lonely. And that's what Tinder took away. You just talk to somebody all the time now. So it's like being single used to be like walking through the desert thirsty for water. You'd be walking through the desert, you're like, oh my God, I'm so thirsty. God, I'm so thirsty, I need to find water. I'm so thirsty. And then you would see some water, and somebody would be like, there's some water. And somebody else would be like, that water has a boyfriend. And you're like, God damn it, just... I'm so thirsty. So thirsty. Oh, that water's working on his career right now. Okay, it's just not the right time for that water. Oh, that water tried to poison me. Okay, stay away from that water. And eventually you would find this oasis, and it would be the most beautiful water you've ever seen. And it's because you walked through the desert to get it. Now it's like you're walking through the desert, and every 30 feet or so there's a half-empty water bottle. You just take a sip and you keep going. And if you do find a water bottle, like, you really like this water bottle, but the water bottle from last week is still texting me. The water bottle over there I want to get talked to. And eventually you're just like, I don't really like labels on my water bottle, if I'm being honest. Man, so I've been with my girlfriend for 6 years. And we're trying to get married, actually. Thank you. I said trying. We have a bit of an issue. I'll explain. I'm Sikh, she's Muslim. Yeah, and our parents are racist. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't want to offend any racists that might be in the audience tonight. And here's the thing, it's weird when your parents are racist, right? Because I grew up Indian, and I'm still Indian, I don't know why. I don't know why I said it like that. That'd be weird, right? You turn 21, you're like, Norwegian, what the fuck? But no, it's still Indian. Nope, still Indian. No, but I grew up Indian, and I grew up watching Bollywood movies. And what's every Bollywood movie? It's a young couple, and they can't be together because of like race, or religion, or caste, or something prejudicial, you know what I mean? Like something about that person that they can't change. It's never anything about the relationship that's an issue. You'll never see a Bollywood movie where the parents are like, well, honey, it's just that he's manipulative and you're codependent, so we don't think it's gonna work out. Never a Bollywood plot. It's always like, oh, honey, it's just that we hate the people that he is. And then what happens? They sing 2 or 3 songs, and the parents are like, you know what? You make a good point. And then they can be together. And I would watch this growing up with my parents. And my parents would look at me, they'd be like, good movie. Good lesson in that movie. I was like, okay. 20 years later, I bring home my Muslim girlfriend. They're like, no, you idiot. The lesson was be racist. Like, how did you miss that? That's when I realized that I don't think my parents have been watching the movies right. Like, I don't think they realized who the villains were. I think in my parents' eyes, every Bollywood movie is just a heartwarming tale about two courageous parents. Who, against all odds, take up the noble fight to stop these two idiot children from making a terrible mistake. And unfortunately, in the end, they fail, and the kids live crappily ever after. Like, there's never a happy ending when it comes to Bollywood movies. My parents. Okay, I'll explain. Let me explain what the problem is between Sikh people and Muslim people. It's just so like when I brought my girlfriend home, my mom sat me down and she goes, "Listen, it's just that the Muslims killed 3 of our gods." Yeah, so in Sikhism, there's 10 gurus, 10 messengers from God, and the Muslims killed 3 of them. And my parents hold this against my girlfriend. Which makes it really hard to talk about my problems with my white friends, because my white friends are like, oh, I gotta take my boyfriend home to meet my dad, and my boyfriend's a Bruins fan, my dad's a Leafs fan. It's gonna be a whole thing. It's like, dude, my girlfriend's up for religious murder, okay? That happened 300 years ago. So that's the problem that Sikh people have with Muslim people. Small messiahcide. Triple messiahcide, if I'm being honest. A little excessive, but whatever. The Muslim people don't even have a problem with Sikh people. It's just a rule in general. If you're a Muslim, you cannot marry a non-Muslim. That's a rule in Islam. And it's right in the beginning of the book, too. Like, Allah was like, Muhammad, put it right in the fucking first chapter. Like, it's really important. And so I have to sit there and discuss this with my girlfriend's father, and he's not an asshole, he's a nice guy. He's just like, what are you gonna do? I like you, but Quran, page 3, line 14, like, how you gonna argue against that? And I have to sit there and be like, I don't know, true love and happiness? And he's like, what do you think, this is a Bollywood movie? Get the fuck out of here. I know what you're thinking, like, Jeevin, it doesn't sound like a big deal, just have both ceremonies. What's the big deal? And to that I say, if only it was so easy. Because here's the thing, my girlfriend's parents, they want me to convert to Islam, because you can't marry non-Muslims, like just convert over and you can marry. And that sounds like a lot, but that's until you realize what a Muslim conversion is. A Muslim conversion is weirdly easy. I don't know if you know, but a Muslim conversion is one sentence that you say 3 times. It's called a shahada. It's one sentence you say 3 times, you repeat it 3 times, and then you're Muslim. That's it. That's the whole thing. It's one line, you go like, Allahim Gaib Lisan Misbalahi. You say that 2 more times, and you're Muslim. That isn't the sentence, by the way. That was Arabic gibberish from Dune Part 2. But we let him get away with it in that dumb movie, so I'm taking it. I don't give a fuck. But that's weird, right? It shouldn't be that easy to become Muslim. Like, it shouldn't be easier to become Muslim than it is to get a credit card. I feel like there's apparently 1.3 billion Muslims on the planet. But if that's your conversion, like, those are inflated numbers, you know what I mean? Like a Jewish conversion, that's work, man. Like, there's a whole, you have to go to classes, it takes a year, there's exams at the end, and I think the rabbi gives you a degree in geography or something. I'm not sure exactly I know it's a process. And also, you have to get circumcised. Yeah, you have to get circumcised. They're like, you want to be Jewish? Step up, let's see how bad you want it. Let's go. And you have to get circumcised as an adult. Completely different ask. You know what I mean? Like, as a baby penis, you can slice through that like new butter, no problem. But an adult, like, man penis, like, that's masturbated and fucked a girl from Florida, like, that's like slicing through an avocado you left in the fridge too long, you know what I mean? Like, So comparatively, the Muslim conversion doesn't seem that bad, is what I'm saying. Like, here's how easy a Muslim conversion is. There's plenty of non-Muslims that marry Muslims, and they just tack the conversion on at the beginning of the ceremony, like some sort of drive-through conversion, just keep the whole train rolling. So I'm like, all right, whatever, it doesn't seem like a big deal, I'll do it. But my parents, remember? The God murder? They're not over it. And so they're mad about it. And the other big thing is our parents will tell us, they're both telling us, like, you don't understand. If you marry somebody outside the religion, you'll get judged for it by other people in the community. Which is true. Those people exist. There are people in every religion who judge other people for how they choose to live their life. Every religion has them. There's a scientific term for it. They're called assholes. And and it's amazing. There's, like, even tonight, like, I'm recording this, which means it's gonna go online, which means there's a clip of this that will scroll onto an asshole's page. They'll see that I'm a Sikh man dating a Muslim woman, and they'll leave some shitty comment like, Muslims don't belong with Sikhs, stay with your own kind, and scroll back. 15 seconds ago, I did not exist in this person's mind. I don't exist anymore because I'm gone, but in that little time, they left a little shitty comment. Yeah, you know those people that are like, if you do that, you're not gonna get into heaven. If you do this, you're not gonna get into heaven. They make you wanna go like, dude, are you gonna be there? Because if you're there, I don't fucking feel like going, to be honest. Like, you ever met a person so shitty they could ruin paradise? Like, they're like, oh, they're gonna, and these people end up controlling people's lives. Like, there's people that I know that will stand in the way of their own happiness on the off chance that when they die, they can go somewhere where they can be happy. Instead of just being happy here, that's also an option. But this went on for 3 years. 3 years, back and forth. Your God, my God, red God, blue God. And then COVID happened. And then we couldn't be together at all. And that sucked, dude. Like, I know people say, oh, absence makes the heart grow fonder, but I don't know whoever said that. They fucking full of shit. That sucked. And we just got sick of it. So we went to the only building that was open during the pandemic, City Hall. And in January 2021, we got married. So fuck you, love wins. I've been Jeevin Gill. Thank you so much for coming in, guys. You guys have been amazing. Good night.